history is becoming quite useful to me as I re-record this video again and again. Let's get it right this time. We want to get back to where we started. We could go up to File Revert, we could hit Command Z, then Option Command Z a whole bunch of times, or we could just look in the History panel. And here is where we opened the image. Here's where we changed the name of the layer or converted something to a smart object or added the camera raw filter. I think you're saying, hey, how come you didn't show us this history panel before? Well, it's been sitting there the whole time. But very handy. So now, from this point forward, we want to create a new action. So if I come over to the Actions play button right here, or click on Actions, either way, and please forgive me for this big, long set of actions, but we're going to create a new folder, a new action set right here. Click and hover, or hover and then click, create a new set, and we could call it something clever like, like 5K blurs, and hit return. And it drops in at the bottom of the stack. Now, I'm going to click and drag this because I don't want it at the bottom, and pull it all the way up to the top. And then see that white line at the top? When I let it go, it's at the top of the layer stack. And now we have a folder for our actions to go into. And how do you create a new layer? What is this little icon here? Photoshop, Illustrator, anything? How do you create a new action? Hey, look, the exact same icon. So we click on it, and up pops this dialog box. Which set is it going to go in? Well, because we had 5K blurs highlighted, it's going in there. We could click on something else, but we'll leave it there, and we'll name this something simple like original image. So we know this is where we start. But, and then when I hit return, the record button is going to be, see how it's highlighted? But look down here. See how nothing is kind of highlighted? When we click record, this little round circle comes on that says, hey, you are recording right now. Now, unlike this video, the actions are not recording dead space. So right now, we have our action named, and what are we going to do? Well, if you practiced, and I told you to practice in the last video, you know you're going to unlock this layer. You're going to double click on the name, and I didn't talk because this is where I screwed up before, because I can't speak and type at the same time, dyslexic. And then right click, convert this to a smart object. And then after this has been converted to a smart object, we know it because we got this icon, plus we know it because it says, if I pull this out, if it says, hey, we converted it to a smart object. And then what did we do? We went up to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. And this opens up, and the action is going to record any settings we make. Actually, it's going to record all the settings in Camera Raw. But because we've made no changes, and why aren't we making changes? Why didn't we do this at the beginning? Because we're setting up this Camera Raw for any image, not this image. So now we click OK. We have our first action set complete, and we need to stop recording. This little square button is the stop button. And now we have our action set here. And if we go back to history and go back to open, oh no, what are we going to do? Then we go back to actions. I'll click this so you can see the other way to go here. And not with one of these highlighted, but with the entire action selected. If we click the play button, watch this, click the play button, those steps play out. Boom. And we have our first action set. Now, before moving on, this is where we're not recording anymore. This is where you open up the Camera Raw filter, and make changes if you want, because whatever changes we make to this image are going to be different than the changes we make to another image. Do you get it? This is a place to pause and work if you want to. I'm not going to change anything about this. We're going to proceed from this point on.